Welcome to St. Luke's, a health system with multiple hospitals and campuses and hundreds of primary care and specialty clinics. Today we're going to take you behind the scenes to show you a unique healthcare career, and you'll even get to meet a member of our St. Luke's healthcare team. Do you know how many people it takes to run a health system like St. Luke's? Impressive, isn't it? And it's not just doctors and nurses, from lab technicians to surgical support, housekeeping, security, and many others that are rewarding opportunities for everyone. And now we'll introduce you to a key member of the healthcare team, a respiratory therapist. But what does a respiratory therapist actually do?
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Tasha, how are you today?
Good. Come on in and welcome to Respiratory.
You guys do such important work here. What is your role in the health system? Tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, as a respiratory therapist, we're responsible for breathing. We see patients that have a hard time, from older patients to infants.
And what made you choose this line of work in healthcare?
I did a little research on, other medical areas to go into, and I found that respiratory sound pretty interesting. Like, how cool is that you get to help people breathe? So I decided to go into respiratory. I have an intubated patient here, and the tube is actually put in so that we can help this patient breathe. So what I do in the beginning is I'm gonna go ahead and attach this ambu bag here to the tube, and I'm gonna give this thing a little squeeze here, and you're gonna see those lungs actually inflate. So see how that's happening? That is just awesome. Like, something you can't see while you're doing it, but this just demonstrates how it's done.
And there's another piece of equipment here that you use too. Show me that as well.
Yeah, sure. So what I have here is called a bronchoscope. This is something that sometimes we may have to take a look down the tube and see what's going on down there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and feed that down. You can see that going down
My goodness.
the tube here. Yeah. So we go all the way down here, that tube. So we have our lungs where they separate, and we're able to get a look. And if there's anything down there that needs to be cleaned out, we have suction on here. We're actually able to push this button and suction all that stuff out of there.
Any healthcare career requires a lot of education. What education did you go through? What was your journey there to get to where you are today?
Okay, well, you can do it two ways. One way, you can go for an associate's degree in respiratory therapy, or you can actually go for a bachelor's degree in respiratory therapy.
And what opportunities are there to advance as a respiratory therapist from the ground up and rising up the ranks?
Pretty much, we have different levels, a lot of advancement opportunities here. So I started as a respiratory therapist level 1. I have now moved up to a respiratory therapist level 3.
Great.
So so it goes all the way up to a 4. I also like to mention that I did a bachelor's degree program here that was 100% paid for.
That's wonderful.
By St. Luke's.
Tasha, I know there's other equipment in here that you want to show us. So I see over here we have an actual ventilator.
Yes.
So show me how this works for a patient that needs it.
Okay, so basically, same thing. We have our intubated patient here, but the difference is this is actually attached to a ventilator. So I have the ventilator running here, and you can actually see that the machine is actually breathing for this patient. You see the lungs inflate, and it all happens through this machine. Here, it's just awesome.
Yeah, and it's an actual life-saving machine that does breathing for a patient who needs it.
Yes.
That's amazing. You are literally doing life-saving work.
Yes.
Why is that so meaningful to you? You chose this career and you're doing it every day. What makes it meaningful for you?
It just makes me feel something in my heart, something special, just knowing that I am able to breathe for someone and see them walk out the door at the same time. They come in at their worst, and then sometimes they leave at their best. And just to know that I had something to do with that, it just basically does something for me.
That's really terrific. Tasha, you also have lung examples, actual lung examples, and I want you to show these to us and the difference between a healthy set of lungs and a not so healthy set of lungs.
Right. So actually, these are lungs from a pig.
Okay.
But it gives you an idea on what the lungs look like here. So I have a healthy lung here, and then I have an unhealthy lung here from an individual that may have smoked 1 pack a day for 20 years. So I'm able to inflate these lungs here by just pressing on this here, and you can actually see the breathing.
You can see the actual difference
Yes, you can.
in how they inflate.
Exactly.
This set is clearly struggling more than the other.
Yes, and so you can see here, it's just not healthy. I mean, you can tell just looking at it compared to this is what smoking does to you.
Yeah. Tasha, this has been terrific. It was great to talk to you, and the sense that I'm getting is that you have a lung career ahead of you. Thank you so much for visiting St. Luke's today. Kansas City is such an exciting place to work and live, and we're really lucky to care for such a great community. We hope that you'll one day consider the healthcare profession, maybe even at St. Luke's. There's no better place than right here.
This is St. Luke's, a healthcare system made up of diverse and dedicated professionals who unite for one vision: to provide the best care to our patients and communities. We position our team to achieve excellence. This is where we save lives, treat people with compassion, and fill hearts with hope. It's here where creativity meets technology, where diversity meets collaboration, where resilience meets community. It's all here at St. Luke's, the intersection of innovation and hope.